Hey Jews, in my last video, I discussed some information from the Ramchal's Derech Hashem and the chart that they did there that explains the job of a Jew in our life, and that it's broken down into two things. One is learning and one is doing, and that the doing is broken down there into a lot of different things that have to do with time. So as I continue to try to understand my reality, okay, with some actual information that has been passed down in an unbroken chain throughout the history of the Jews. Try to understand, who are the Jews? Why am I Jewish? What is Judaism? So all of these things have led me to more understanding about consciousness, mineral, plant, animal, speaker, and then the understanding, which is in Bina, understanding and repentance, which is a spiritual thing to increase our consciousness from a speaker, Medaber, to something higher called Israel, where we have an actual awareness, understanding of God, and understanding some of the chokhmah, the wisdom that God used to create a reality. And that actually God, the Torah, and the nation of Israel are one. So what I think it's important to try to do, if you are somebody who is trying to understand the purpose of life, okay, and understand what role, if any, does God, the Judaism, the nation of Israel, play in your life and in the understanding of what your life is, I think it's very important to try to verbally summarize that for yourself. Verbally, speak it out loud. Can you make a little video, even just for yourself, where you coherently speak about what you have come to understand based on what? Where did you learn what you have come to understand about life? Is that information trustworthy? Because I think that also a lot of times in our reality, without the focused and conscious intention to go looking for purpose and understanding, okay, we get our information from non-reliable sources, and then we base our understanding of reality based on that information. Whereas now we can see, hopefully, in this year, 5,785, that the information can be is not necessarily reliable, okay? Because there are other forces that are trying to shape your understanding and then how you interact with your reality and what you do with your life. Okay, so that's a little exercise that I think is helpful to do. It's to see if you can verbally summarize what you understand to be the meaning of your life, including giving sources where you learned that, how you understood that, maybe what your experiences are. And the point of verbally doing that is to connect, okay, the speaker. We were created as speakers with the ability to speak. And in a lot of my videos that I talk about consciousness and different levels of consciousness, including Medaber Chai and Chai Medaber and Yisrael, okay, which I didn't write down here, but Yisrael. So I did a few different videos exploring each one of those categories. I'm going to put it in my description. But what we understood there was that this understanding, okay, comes from Bina, which there is Chokhmah, which is wisdom, Bina, which is understanding, and Dat. And this Bina is what basically connects wisdom with a verbal ability, okay? So this is the area that the speaker, the creation called speaker, which is a human, it is in this area that we understand, okay, the wisdom of God. And then in that same area is repentance, okay? So all of this is spiritual information, okay, where did I learn that? In the Torah. Okay, so in the Torah and from our lineage, okay, of this unbroken chain throughout history. Okay, and I, in different videos, have explained giving references to Tehillim, especially Tehillim 78, which talks about our history, and different rabbis, including the Ramchal, Rabbi Avigdor Miller, all of, the different references, okay, that I have learned from them and their wisdom and their understanding and their knowledge to form my new understanding of reality, which wasn't always the case, okay? Because what I've also understood is that here, when we transform ourselves from speakers, okay, from Medaber Chai, who we were created in the image of God, okay, with the ability to speak in our job, our purpose, if you will, is to understand, to learn and understand, and to do, okay, as I said in my previous video about the job of the Jew, okay, is to learn the understanding and to learn the information. We learn that information for certain reasons and we do certain things at certain times, okay? So we understand this, and by learning and doing, we evolve ourselves, we create ourselves to be a higher consciousness called Israel. And this consciousness, okay, is what is connected to God and the Torah, and that is this. Okay, so we have to ask ourselves, are we striving for this? Do we just think that we are just born Israel and that's it? No, we're born speakers. We belong maybe genetically to this lineage, okay, that has an unbroken chain of information and of things to do and to not do, okay? So we have to learn that. So we have to learn what we're commanded to do and commanded not to do, okay? And we also have to learn in order to understand, so that we will speak certain words at certain times, okay, in order to grow our consciousness up to Israel, and here God shines his face on you, okay, which is light. This is a thing. Ye'er panav alecha. Okay, it's as though when God shines his light on you, your pathway is enlightened, okay? However, if as a speaker you do not incorporate any understanding, you're not speaking, okay, certain things at certain times, okay, you're not understanding how to use this functionality of speaker, okay? We weren't animals that somehow evolved into speaking, okay? Animals don't speak. We see that there's no continuation of that evolution, okay? So if we use our faculty of speech to talk about mundane things, only physical things, okay? Only the materialistic things, only the things that our ego is connected to, our personalities, okay? Our instincts, sensual things, sensuality, okay? Physical, material, ego, personality, instinct, sensuality, darkness. Darkness. God does not shine his face upon you. God hides his face from you. Okay? So that's Chai Medaber, okay? Closer to animal and farther away from Israel. Okay? So I want to suggest to you that you try to video yourself or speak before your family or whoever, or your friends or whoever you get together to talk about things, okay? Which are they things that, are you speaking things with wisdom? Are you getting together to discuss what the purpose of life is, what, what's going on in the world on a higher level? Or are you getting together just to talk about mundane physical things, materialistic things, ego-driven things, sensual things, whatever we're getting there to talk about, okay? Can you do this? Can you verbally summarize what you think the purpose of life is? And if you cannot, okay, then you might want to reconsider what your focus is on life and what your role is as a Jew, because you definitely have a role. That's why you were a Jew. That's why the Jews have survived over time and all throughout history when they rise up to annihilate us in every generation. And the only reason that we are not annihilated is because God, the Torah, and the nation of Israel are one. They cannot be destroyed. However, if you are not striving to be a part of this nation, you have to ask yourself, perhaps, what's going on, okay? So what we see a lot now in our time is that a lot of people with very, very strong convictions about what they think is the purpose of life and what they think the truth is, their truth, okay? Their minimum viable truth, their fractured truth. They can't verbalize it, okay? They can emotionally melt down, they can scream at you, but they can't verbalize anything, putting it together with a cohesive and with some sort of understanding, and explain where they received that information and how trustworthy that information is. Okay, so that's a little exercise that you can do. Okay, and the more and more you're able to verbalize your thoughts and especially on the purpose of life and what it means to be a Jew, the, I guess, better you're doing, especially as a Jew. Would love to hear your feedback. Let me know.